What up, though? Good morning, everybody. Welcome to what's going to attempt to be a continuous version of AM Opinionated. It's your man. It's early though. It's early. You know what I'm saying? It's your man, Nate Goose the guy, man. It's early. Uh, and so does anybody that's up right now, man. I appreciate y'all for checking it out. Hit me up in the chats if you up with me. Now, in the future, because of my fluctuating schedule, I am gonna attempt to do this every morning at 7. No later than 7:30. But I'm gonna shoot for 7 every morning, right? Shoot for 7 every morning with the primetime show still being on Wednesdays at 8:30. Uh so I'm gonna do AM opinionated at 7. That's going that's what I'm gonna try to do. And then I'm gonna hit and then notoriously opinionated is gonna be Wednesdays at 8:30. We got a full slate of things and topics and guests for a while. Like it's been crazy the show of support and people who want to get on the show and talk about different topics. It's dope though. I'm with it. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm with it. You know, I plan on doing the plan is to do one today. I'm not going to I'm not gonna lock that in. Uh but be paying attention around say 2ish. I'll put something out there once it's locked in, but yeah, so I'm gonna have a I'm thinking about doing the afternoon episode. Yeah, just gonna be chopping it up. All right. This morning's episode is gonna go over what I really wanted to go over yesterday, which was the celebration of Umoja Karamu this past Sunday, man. Shout out to the National Black United Front, Kansas City, stand up in Buff for putting on a very good uh, a virtual Umoja Karamu celebration. I enjoyed it. The interaction. It was on Twitch, and so I enjoyed the interaction. It was dope. You know, uh, I was curious to see how y'all was gonna pull it off, and I am pleasantly surprised with how uh, entertained I was throughout the whole thing. Cause I was like, how the hell are they gonna do a virtual Moja Karamu? This don't but it'll be the same thing as you would do in the house. You know what I'm saying? If you was to put on a production or a presentation and really do Umoja Karamu up like you're supposed to do, really do Kwanzaa up like you're supposed to, then you know, all you doing is seeing it through the camera instead of seeing it in person. But it should be the same thing. You should be showing uh, educational and uplifting documentaries. I would have liked to have seen Hidden Colors, you know, but we could put that in to the next virtual whatever that we do. Maybe virtual Kwanzaa. Uh, Man, we might be talking about virtual Moja Karamu next year, man. People ain't taking this pandemic seriously. So, you know, we might be talking about a virtual Umoja Karamu next year. Next November. So it is what it is. But what I wanted to do is because there's a lot of people who say, well, is Umoja Karamu like Black Thanksgiving? Well, no. You know, and kind of in another way, yes, it just depends on how you. It depends on how you view and understand uh, American colonized Thanksgiving. I guess is the best way I can put it. Right. So it's like Umoja Karamu Um, all right, so here's what I mean, right? All right, so let me see the difference between the two, right? Umoja Karamu, which one do I want to explain first? All right, so Umoja Karamu goes through like five different epics. It is based on different color schemes, you know. So you're gonna have your red, your black, and your green, right? You're gonna have your gold, right? And so you got the you start off with the black, So the symbol for this black part is the okay. So wait, before I tell you all that, so Umoja Karamu began, I believe, in 1971. It was a brother named Brother Edward Sims Jr. From Philly who actually created and started Umoja Karamu. He's I want to say he is, I believe, the founder of the Church of the Black Messiah in Philly. I believe he's the founder of the Church of the Black Messiah. I believe that's how it goes. And so basically, he said that he founded not Kwanzaa, that he founded Umoja Karamu. Now, the reason I keep confusing Umoja Karamu and Kwanzaa is because Kwanzaa is an Umoja Karamu. You can have an Umoja Karamu within Kwanzaa. First, let me define what Umoja Karamu means. It means Umoja is unity, right? Umoja is unity. Umoja. It means unity. Kwanzaa. Karamu is feast. So it's a unity feast. And so you have a unity feast during Kwanzaa as well, right? So Kwanzaa is a unity feast, but Umoja Karamu is the unity feast that is the last Sunday in November, right? So last Sunday in November is the unity feast. And the brother said that his whole purpose for creating Umoja Karamu uh, was to inject a sense of culture into the black family, right? So that was his goal. His goal was to inject a new meaning and culture into black families. He wanted to inject solidarity into black families. Solidarity is the key word, you know what I'm saying? Because that is the one thing that I'm talking about that later. I don't even want to talk. I don't even want to hit on that now, right? But in most traditional African culturalized celebrations, you're gonna have dance, you're gonna have music, you're gonna have lively stuff because we are party people. I mean, let's just face it, we are party people, and that goes back millennia. You know what I'm saying? That didn't start in the '60s, the '70s. We've been party people. So we dance, we have music. That's who we are. So now I can get to the colors. So black, the color of black within Umoja Karamu uh, symbolizes uh, the the pride, the strength, the solidarity of the race before slavery, right? So that's all talking about things that happened before slavery, the race before slavery. Um, so there was a strength that was had by African people, descendants of African people, black people before slavery, uh, to where now we come into white, right? The next color is white, and that color symbolizes the uh, the era or the epic of slavery, right? So we go into slavery and the effects of slavery on the black family. So slavery affected the black male, which affected the black female, which affected the black children, thus the black family. So the white represents the effects of slavery on the black family. Then you go into the red, and red within Umoja Karamu symbolizes uh, symbolizes the liberation of black people again. And I stress. Notice I said liberation, not freedom. Not freedom. Uh, because that's all we've been thus far is liberated. We are not free yet. So red symbolizes the liberation of black people. And I believe that Sims Jr., Brother Sims Jr. used red as for this particular epic because, and this is just my thoughts about it. This is just my opinion. I'm not saying that this is why he actually did it. This is my uh AM opinion. Um is because so during this time of the Civil War, people, black people, white people, all people will talk about how Crispus Attucks was the first one shot and killed in the Civil War. But nobody talks about the African human fodder that was used before that. Like there were Africans that was put on the front line literally as fodder. All you are meant to do is take shots so the white soldiers behind you don't get shot. So you absorb all the bullets. When your bodies go down, then the soldiers behind you will shoot. Then it's another wave of Africans that's fodder. They go down. Another wave of uh, European soldiers would then shoot. So I believe that was part of the thought process. And then all of the black lives that were soldiers that went down during the Civil War. So I believe that uh, is part of the reason why red is used in that particular epic. Then you have green, which I really don't. I really don't understand. I don't. I'm gonna have to do some further research as to why green is used. But maybe it's just because I got a problem with civil rights. I got a problem with black people having fought for civil rights and not, and I'm gonna use this term, and not African American rights. If you was gonna fight for rights, fight for black people rights, fight for African American rights. Why are you fighting for civil rights? Everybody else fought for their own races' rights. Mexicans fought for Mexican American rights. Asians fought for Asian American rights. Everybody else fought for their own race's civil rights. It was the Asian American civil rights movement. It was the Mexican American civil rights movement. Now they all got the idea from us. When they heard black people talking about how we was oppressed, Asians was like, you know what? We oppressed too. They do the same shit to us. Mexicans was like, hey, wait, they do the same things to us, Vato, and so they fought for their rights. Black people fought for civil rights, just civil rights, not African American civil rights. It was the civil rights movement. I'm gonna get into that later, because that's a whole show in and unto itself. So I'm gonna get into that later. But that's probably why I'll be having a problem when we get to the civil rights talking about black people. That just irks my soul. Uh, but that's what the green symbolizes is the struggle of the civil rights movement. And then you have the gold, and it can be supplemented with orange, which is the hope for the future. You know, so the Pan African pledge has in it hopes for its future bright, Africa has seen, right? And that's what I think that part is referring to uh, in the hope for the future. It's the hopes for the future of the descendants of Africans. So that's Umoja Karamu. So when people say, is Umoja Karamu just Black Thanksgiving? It is a giving of thanks for the culture, for the family, for the things that we have, and it's done mostly by Black people. But is it Black Thanksgiving? Hell no, because Thanksgiving, uh, what they told you in school was a lie. It was a whole lie. Like they got some things right. Like there were there the Mayflower hit. Uh, the Mayflower landed in what is now Plymouth, Massachusetts in 1620. That is accurate. It came from Plymouth, England. That is accurate. You know, they colonized where they landed. That is accurate. There was some so-called Native American uh, people who were at this so-called Thanksgiving. That's accurate. They were thankful for a successful harvest. That is accurate. The fact that these people was invited, that these Native Americans was invited to this so-called Thanksgiving is sketchy. All you know what I'm saying? Like history says that these colonizers came and settled on the land where these people were. So they were already there. And the colonizers came in and settled a colony on their shit. Okay. Uh, so there was this cat named Squatto, right? Squatto, and so that's accurate that Squatto was a important part of this whole little story. Maybe not as important as they try to make it out to be, but you know, Squatto was important. However, to go into the story of Squatto, Squatto was actually captured by uh, English slavers, put into slavery in Spain, got shipped to England where he learned English and made it back to America a year before the so-called Pilgrim showed up. That's how the fool know. That's how he knew English. That's how he knew what they were saying when he got here. So he was a translator. Squatto ended up being a translator uh between his tribe and these so-called pilgrims, which was also not true because they didn't call themselves pilgrims. They were separatists. You know what I'm saying? The story goes that these so-called pilgrims came here as came here to kind of practice and establish religious freedom when really they was running from religious tyranny. You know what I'm saying? So they were separatists, so they came over here running from religion, you know. But that's not the story that you get in school. That's not what you get. They did not call it Thanksgiving for quite some time, right? So you can go to maybe George Washington's era around. So let me see. That happened in 1620. They got there in 1620. So 1621 ish is when the actual Thanksgiving probably would have happened because if they got there in 1620, they had to plant seeds for the harvest, which is also something that Squatto uh, helped teach them. It's like these are the best methods of how to plant these different things if you want a successful harvest, you know. Uh, so it probably maybe the earliest was around the George Washington era, uh, where they was like, but no, they wasn't talking about. See, in the George Washington era, they wasn't talking about 1621. They was talking about uh, they was more talking about 1776. You know, they was talking about the Constitution. They wasn't thankful for no goddamn first harvest in no 1621. They ain't give a damn about that because they wasn't they that was not yet a footnote in American history. You know, they didn't even start calling it that until New Englanders start calling it Thanksgiving in the 19th century. You know what I'm saying? But around George Washington's era, the first Congress goes to Washington and is like, "Hey, can you go to the nation and request a national day?" Well, they were requesting him that he proclaim a national day of Thanksgiving. He wasn't talking about 1621. He was talking about the fact that they were thankful that they got the Constitution through. You know, that the Constitution was a real thing, and this was going to be the first Thanksgiving under this new Constitution. You know, there was also another Thanksgiving when settlers massacred a whole Native American tribe. You know, so they had a Thanksgiving after that. You know, they massacred a whole tribe. So the I forget what it was. I forget who they were. Uh, the Pequot, Pequot people, right? Massacred them. Had a Thanksgiving after that for survival. Like those that survived, it's like we are so happy we are still here because a lot of our people didn't make it. None of their people made it, so we massacred their whole tribe, and so they were thankful. They were thankful for that. So yeah, to say is Umoja Karamu celebrated as black celebrated as Black Thanksgiving? I'm gonna go with no. If you mean the massacre of a whole people and giving thanks for that, if you're talking about the miseducation of our youth by teaching them uh about pilgrim settlers coming here and being thankful for and inviting these Native Americans to come in and break bread and eat turkey with us, and nobody even know it was turkey. I don't know where the hell they got that from. You know, there was no fact saying that they ate no damn turkey. So why I keep getting fed turkey every doggone year for the last for my whole life, I have no idea. You know, uh, although I'm cool with the stuff and then the cranberries, which also goes into Umoja Karamu, you know what I'm saying, because we correlate different colors with different foods. So you'll have like black beans for the black, you'll have like uh, corn or sweet potatoes or something for the orange or the gold. You'll have uh, like cranberries, cranberry juice. Hell, we drank like what was it? Cranberry 7 Up for the red. Uh, you know, you got your spinach or your green beans or something for the green. Uh, uh, and like rice for the white or whatever it is that you know, onions, you know, whatever's white ish. So yeah, so in one way is Umoja Karamu Black Thanksgiving? Yes, it is. Uh, is Umoja Karamu uh, like Thanksgiving? Hell no. Hell to the no. Not at all. Not in the slightest way. We didn't kill nobody. We trying to uplift and solidify. You know, we're not trying to tear down and destroy. You know, so we gonna wrap it up right there. So, man, thanks everybody for tuning in. Uh, check out this afternoon's edition It's a special edition. This this broadcast is like this is my baby, and so this is like what it's really like. It's like somebody asked me, like, matter of fact, not somebody, my partner. He asked me, yesterday. He's like, man, so when can you do a show? And I was over his house, and there was a mirror right there, like a full length mirror. So I just went into the mirror and was like, hold on, let me ask the CEO and the owner of the show, when he can do a show. Get in the mirror and be like, hey, can we do a show today? Yup. That's how I go. I can do a show whenever the hell I want because it's mine. Uh so tune in. Tune in Wednesday to Notoriously Opinionated, the primetime version. You dig? And appreciate y'all. Peace. I'm out.